Good morning, students. This is our chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variations, Part 3. Today we'll study dihybrid cross. All of you have done a dihybrid cross earlier. Now we'll study about genotypic ratio, its phenotypic ratio, and dihybrid test cross, and linkage and crossing over. Why Drosophila was taken as a study material for genetics. So we all study in this lecture. This is Mendel's second law, law of independent assortment, and it is also called inheritance of two genes. So it has also been called Mendel's second law by Correns. But it states, according to this law, the alleles of two pairs of traits separate independently of each other during gamete or spore formation and get randomly rearranged in the offspring at the time of fertilization, producing both parental and new combination of traits. Means जब पेरेंट्स के बीच में हाइब्रिडाइजेशन होती है, फर्टिलाइजेशन होता है और जो स्पोर्स बनते हैं तो वो रेंडमली रीअरेंज हो जाते हैं बच्चों के टाइम पे. तो जो जितने भी बच्चे होते हैं उन सब में नए नए करेक्टर्स बन जाते हैं. सो दिस शोज दैट करेक्टर्स डोंट या ट्रेट्स जो हैं वो एज इट इज नहीं जाते हैं. दे हैव द property of segregating from each other. They segregate and different types of characters are formed. Different type of recombinations, new recombinations are formed. So we'll study in this dihybrid cross. This is the cross between two parents which differ in two pairs of contrasting characters. First of all, we have studied about monohybrid cross, in which we have taken two parents but one gene, one pair of contrasting character. Now we are taking two parents which differ in two pairs of contrasting characters. Let us see. This is showing dihybrid cross. A cross is made between a pure round yellow seeded pea plant, means RRYY, with wrinkled green seeded pea plant, means small r, small y. Yellow color is dominant over green and rounded seed shape over wrinkled seed shape. You must remember that yellow color is dominant over green color, and rounded seed shape is dominant over wrinkled seed shape. F1 plants, means hybrid plants, are all round and yellow seeded. You can watch in the slide. F1 plants are out to self-breed and produce F2 generations. F2 generations have four type of plants: rounded yellow, rounded green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green, in the form of 9:3:3:1. So we will see this in next slide. Each of the character, if considered separately, shows a ratio of 3:1 as found in monohybrid cross. So take your pen and paper and we'll do in the next slide how it happens. So this is showing dihybrid cross. You all can see that in F2 generation, hybrid round yellow are formed, and then from this R capital, R small, Y capital, Y small is going to produce four type of gametes. Then again self-fertilization, then again same four type of gametes are formed, and you can make this checkerboard and you can make like this easily, and resulting uh, genotype will be, it's a homework for you. We will draw a genotypic ratio, and phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. So genotypic ratio you have to draw. I will tell you in the my live class what will be its genotypic ratio, and you have to draw properly this diagram, this checkerboard, and you will find amazing results that the genotypic ratio will be very much different from phenotypic ratio. This is showing dihybrid test cross. What was dihybrid test cross? Recessive parents with the help of hybrid next generation. So phenotypic ratio will be 1:1:1:1. So you have to draw all these checkboards on your notebook, and you have to draw the. This is very important theory, chromosomal theory of inheritance. It was given by Sutton and Boveri independently in 1902. It was experimentally proved by Morgan and his colleagues, who also discovered the basis of variation in sexual reproduction. The chromosomal theory of inheritance states that genes are located at a specific loci on the chromosomes, and it is the chromosomes which segregate and assort during meiosis and recombine at the time of fertilization in the zygote. So the salient features of chromosomal theory are, first point is gametes. Gametes means sperm and ova constitute bridge between one generation and the next generation. The sperm and ova must carry all hereditary traits. Both the sperm and egg contribute equally in the heredity of the offspring. The sperm provides only nuclear part of the zygote. We have done in the third chapter, and as such hereditary characters must be carried by nuclear material. There is fusion of sperm and egg nuclei during fertilization. So next point is nucleus contains chromosomes. Therefore chromosomes must carry the hereditary traits. Each chromosome or chromosome pair has a definite role in the development of an individual. Loss of a complete or part of chromosome produces structural and functional deficiency in an organism. This we will study later, how chromosomal diseases or mutational diseases will take place, and both chromosome as well as genes occur in pairs in the somatic or diploid cells. A gamete contains only one chromosome of a type and only one of the two alleles of a character. So this all points you have to learn properly. The paired condition of both chromosomes as well as genes is resorted during fertilization. Homologous chromosomes synapse during meiosis. Meiosis you all learn, and then segregate independently into different cells, which establishes the quantitative basis for segregation and independent assortment of hereditary factors. In many organisms, sex of the individuals is determined by specific chromosomes called sex chromosomes, as in humans. So in this slide you're watching, Thomas Hunt Morgan and his colleagues conducted experimental verification of chromosomal theory of inheritance. So why Morgan took tiny fruit flies? Fruit flies, its scientific name is Drosophila melanogaster. So why it was taken? It is easily available, and it can be easily hovering over ripe mango, banana, fruit flies, which feeds over yeast cells present over the fruit surface. The flies can be reared inside bottles having yeast culture or synthetic medium containing cream of wheat, molasses, agar, etc. A new generation can be raised within 2 weeks with single mating producing hundreds of individuals. The animals can be temporarily inactivated with the help of and with the help of ether and examined by hand lens or dissecting microscope. So female is distinguishable from male by its larger size and ovipositor at the rear end. You can watch in the diagram, female is larger in size than male, and it has ovipositor. Uh, the the animals possess 4 pair of chromosomes of different sizes. The male fly possesses XY chromosome while the female has XX chromosome. Y chromosome is hooked and easily distinguished, as we are having in our humans are having same type of chromosomes. Polytene chromosomes occur in salivary glands of larva, which can indicate any type of abnormality. Breeding Drosophila is quite cheap. So further it can be done throughout the year. The flies have many hereditary variations that are observable under low power microscope. These all why Thomas took Drosophila melanogaster as a genetic material. So I have described this all in the previous slide. This is written material for your revision.